Hey toy friends. So in this video, we're going to be doing a custom. So I haven't done a custom in a while, so it felt good to kind of get back into it. But if you remember back in October, I went to the Chicago toy show and I picked up this, what I thought was a My Little Pony friend. Turned out it wasn't, it was a fake. But I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this flocked pig with a ponytail? So I was like, all right, maybe I'll just do a custom. So I kind of sat on that for a while, and then I was tired of looking at it, I guess. So I decided to deflock it, and I made a video about that, so you can check that out. But in that video, I asked y'all if you wanted to see a custom made out of the pig, and y'all wanted that. So I was like, great, this will kind of nudge me to do another custom. So I had an idea, and I gathered all my materials. I was ready to go, and then I was like, okay. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to say that it's okay to have an idea, get excited about it, get into the idea, like actually do whatever you want to do, and then like lose interest, and then feel like, okay, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I kind of felt like that with this, and I think part of it was because I wasn't sure how to execute on my idea the way I wanted to, and that was it was a little defeating on my end. So I was like, okay, well, I have to finish this thing because I wanted to finish this for you, number one, because you wanted to see this. I also wanted to see it through just because I didn't want to just like stop mid custom, although that would have been okay. I just want to put it out there, that would have been okay, but I decided to just finish it. So with all that being said, I'm not like 100% happy with it, and that's okay. I'm not going to be 100% happy with everything at every custom I do, especially since I still consider myself pretty new to customs. I've only done a handful of dolls. I've never done a pig before. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, let's just get into the footage of me making this custom, and then we'll reconvene at the end. There she is. So the first thing I did was clean her up a little bit because she was still a little dirty from when I initially tried to clean her up after I deflocked her. So I was just kind of going in and cleaning her up again and trying to get into the little nitty gritty spots. Her collar is like super gross, like just because there's lots of curves and divots and all that. I ended up never really completely cleaning her up, but and then here I'm kind of going in with a Q-tip, trying to get that collar cleaned up as much as I could. But then I kind of realized, well, I'm going to be painting over it anyway, so I didn't have to be like super concerned about that. But yeah, and then I was like, okay, I've got to take her head off. So I was like pulling, and it was not happening at all. So I had to just do something else because this was not working. So I decided to heat her head up. So I heated her head up just to make her head softer. And then the head eventually did come. There it goes. It did come off. And yeah. Also, this is a pretty easy reroute, just because it's literally a My Little Pony tail. So it's just like a one waft of hair. Here I am pulling the hair out with these pliers. It was surprisingly hard to pull out. I'm not sure why, but there it goes. As you can see, the hair is pretty gross. Also, it was like super dry. Pretty sure it was a poly texture, but yeah. And then some more cleaning with the good old reliable Q-tip. And then I was cleaning her ears because I don't know why. again, cleaning her ears with some more Q-tips. So I'm not sure why I have so much footage of this, but there you go. So here's the inspiration, Barbie number 1. I do a lot of pointing in this video, so just ignore that. So yeah, so I was planning on giving her her bathing suit, her hair, and her white shoes. So here's her head, and I'm just showing you the holes on her head, I guess. This is the doll hair that I had from a while ago. I don't know if people still buy. This is weird. Like, I don't know how they do this, how they have the hair in like one loop. Like, how does that work? Someone please explain that to me. Anyway, I'm cutting this in half, and then I decide to, do I separate this? I don't remember if I separate this or not. No. Do I use the whole thing? That's crazy. So I'm like tying it in the middle. So basically I'm going to tie in the middle and then pull it through the hole on the top of her head. But you will soon realize that that is not going to happen. So then I'm like, okay, this is too thick. So here I am cutting the string I just tied, hoping not to cut the hair. And then I decide to take just like a small little weft of hair. Is that what it's called? Is it a weft of hair? But yeah, here I am laying it out, doing that again, tying it up nice and tight. And then this is me trying to figure out how to get this in through the hole. And I've watched plenty of videos, and I think I just finally figured it out. So I just used the ends of the rope or whatever, the string, to kind of pull through the head. It was a little tricky getting both of the ends through, but I eventually did. There we go. And then I was pulling, and just to get the hair through. And that did not work. So, spoiler alert. I think the hair dryer comes back out, but I was like, I should probably get the head soft again so I could do this effectively. But yeah, it was not going through. So yeah, I heated up the head again. I should have learned from the first time, but I never learn. So heat up the head, makes it a little more pliable. Do the same thing, stick the two ends through the top, pull it through. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this one step, but you know, content. Here I am off camera. And then I'm finally able to pull it through with a lot of, it took a little bit of might to get it through, but I did eventually pull it through. Struggling, my poor finger, no circulation in the index finger. And then there it is. I got it through. So next step was to make sure that the hair did not go back out the hole. So I have a zip tie, and then I just zip tied the, as you can see, zip tying it under the fold or whatever. Also having trouble with the zip tie for some reason. I was like, I can't get this through. So I had to use pliers to pull it around. I just, you would think my fingers are small enough, I feel like, that I could do that. But, and then like putting the zip tie through the hole, I was like not able to do that. So I was like, what is going on? But then I realized I had it backwards. So I just flipped it around. And then here we go. Also this part, I couldn't do this part. My grip strength is like zilch. So here we go. Zip. That was very satisfying to kind of get the zip tie on there. And yeah, and then I just clipped off the remaining ends and then pulled the hair through, and there you go. Re-rooted. super easy. If only for that. If only for that. Only wow. If only with our easy with doll hair. Here I was just playing around with hairstyles. I was like, oh, it'd be cute to like do like a funky hairstyle like this. But I was like, I have no idea how to attach this to the head, but how cute is that? Mr. Super Clear, definitely three coats of Mr. Super Clear. I basically painted on her bathing suit. I figured that would be the easiest way to do it. So here I am sketching out some stripes, and I think the biggest challenge was getting the stripes even, and I think I failed pretty hard on that. I cannot draw a straight line for the life of me, and I couldn't figure out how to do that. So yeah, but here I am like trying to do this design. I don't know why I went like that with it, but because I was trying to figure out how it would look on a pig, like how her outfit would look. But I was like, it's just a striped bathing suit. I don't need to think too hard about it. So I ended up just doing like stripes around the belly, and then I went around the top as well. Here I am pointing that out. And then I decided to use some masking tape as kind of like a guide for the lines. And I was like, okay, maybe this will make it like cleaner. So I decided to cut the masking tape into strips. And I think at first I measured, I don't think I ended up measuring really. I think everything is kind of done by eyeball. So, but I'm giving the illusion here that I'm actually measuring, which yeah. And then like cutting the tape was also like, yeah, you can see I like kind of went at the end there. So I was like, all right, this is going to be very, very not exact, but yeah. And then I just applied the masking tape to the pig and just kind of wrapped it around and matched up the ends. And then here is my terrible masking tape job. And then I started with the white because I thought it would be easier to go over white with black versus the other way around. So that's why I chose white first. And I literally just painted in the stripes in between the masking tape. These are Posca pens, by the way. They're paint pens. I think they're acrylic. I'm pretty sure they're acrylic, but it's super handy if you want to paint with a pen. So I really like them a lot when I do use them. I think they're very convenient. So I thought for this project it would be pretty easy to work with. So I did this first coat, and then this is the second coat. And then I decided to really push down, because these are the ones where you push the tip down and it like activates it, or like brings the paint through. But I was, for some reason, like activating it, and I was like, this is gonna look like a mess because it's gonna go under the tape. But then I was like, well, that's fine, because, and then it does this where it like drips off the tape. So yeah, it was just kind of a mess at this point. And I think at this point, this is where I first kind of got discouraged, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is going to be a mess. It's not going to turn out. But then I let it dry, and then I took all the masking tape off. And yeah, we had some stripes, some very uneven stripes. Also some obvious places where I need to clean up, but I was hoping that the black would cover most of that up. And then, is this the point where I do stuff like basically off camera? There was the point where I was doing stuff and I didn't realize I was like off camera. No, okay, so this is on camera, so you're welcome. Yeah, and then I just literally free-handed the black stripes, which is like, what I should have done is maybe taped the white paint, the white areas with the masking tape, and done the same thing, but I didn't think of that. But then I don't know if the masking tape would peel up the white part afterwards. So I was just like, I'm just going to freehand it. It's fine. So here I am. And then I am cleaning up with the whites. It's still not great. Like I'll show you the end product and it's still like, oof. I know I'm really selling this. I'm really selling this to you. But here I am just cleaning all the excess white paint with some acetone. Yeah, this is where I'm like, like off in La La Land doing whatever and not realizing that I am not even in camera. But I wanted to show something on screen. So you get my weird distorted hairy arm right here. And then some more cleaning. And then here's where we paint the collar. Unfortunately, I couldn't take the collar off. Otherwise, I would have. But it's molded to the sculpt. Again, off camera. Not sure what's happening here, but more arm. Okay, so here we are painting the collar black. And I went with black just because I thought white might look strange. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I should have chosen white, but we went with black and that's that. So I just painted the whole thing just a straight up black. I don't really have much to say at this point, but, and then here it is, almost done. And then here we are, all painted up. Piggy. Yeah, and then I decided to do some more cleaning. I don't know why. I was like, I need to clean some more. And then I went in with the tiny little brush there, which I love these things so much. They're like tiny little Q-tips. And then this is where I paint her hooves white to mimic Barbie's white shoes. And this is where I think I got kind of lazy because I was just like, I'm just gonna give her a coat of white and just call it a day. Not that I don't know what else I could have done really with her hooves to make them look like shoes, but yeah, I literally just painted them white. I didn't even paint the undersides because it's like no one's going to see the underside. So I decided not to do that. So yeah, that was that. And then here she is, all painted up. And then we went in with some Mr. Super Clear. So I just wanted to seal everything in. And then I wanted to give her some lipstick. So I took out my red Posca pen and gave her some lips. This was pretty whatever. Not. I literally just like outlined the top of her lip and then the bottom of her lip. It was kind of weird because she's got like her mouth is open. So there's just like pink inside, and I was like, maybe I should paint that black. But then I was like, I don't even know if I want to try that because I would probably mess it up. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave it pink, and we'll just hope for the best. And obviously, you can't really see what I'm doing here, which is great camera work on my end. So yeah, and then here I am, deciding what to do. And then I decided to add some liquid or some gloss varnish to make her lips a little shiny. Because what pig doesn't like shiny lips? And then I decided to throw some gloss on her eyes. I don't know why, because her eyes were already kind of glossy. But anyway, some more Mr. Super Clear. And then I had to get her head back on her body. So if you can see, the opening is the same as the body. So I had to do some more hair drying to get the head back on. So this was a bit of a struggle to get the head back on. And if you notice, I am scraping up the paint on her head and her collar, kind of making a mess. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, so I was like, great. Now I have to go back in and clean it up. I would rather have to like paint something in versus cleaning up. The cleaning up is like annoying. So I eventually got her head back on, which was good. And then I had to go in and clean all the mess that I made. Exactly. So I just went in with the black marker and filled in all the stuff that rubbed off. The most tedious part was the cleaning parts, because it took a second to get everything off, and then I had to go in with the teeny tiny Q-tip to get in the crevice between the collar and the head. Still doing it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, are you ready to see Miss Barbie Pig 2025? So here she is. Oink oink. Yeah, so I think she is a definite improvement on her original look. So I will give it that. But I will say that she is not finished. This to me is a rough draft of this custom. Or maybe like a part 1, and she needs a part 2. To finish her off, because there are a lot of things about this that I am not happy with at all, and that I could do a lot more with. But like I said in the beginning of the video, it was a thing where I was like really excited about doing this, and then towards the end I was just like, I just need to finish this so I can move on to other things. So I think what I'll do is put her aside for now and come back to her in a little bit and give her the attention that she deserves, because right now, she needs some help. She needs some assistance. So, but yeah, I hope she's at least a little bit interesting to look at. I don't know. Don't hate her. I don't hate her. I definitely like, I did make this, so I am somewhat proud of it, but it could go a lot further. So, and I do plan on doing that with her. So she's gonna hang out for a bit while I do other things, and then maybe I'll get back to her at some point. Not sure when, but I will. So let me know in the comments if you have ever had that happen to you, where you start a custom and you just like throughout the process, you're just like, this isn't working, or you just lose interest, and like how you dealt with that. Did you stop doing the custom altogether, or what? I'm curious to see if I know I'm not alone, but I'm just curious about your take on the whole situation. So let me know. And as always, thank you so very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe. And I hope you're having a lovely whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you next time.